least I'm not a...
Hello and welcome to episode 34 of Scion of the Dark House, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Gothic horror podcast. Because it is Gothic horror, there are some things that may be unsavory for some individuals, such as body horror, blood, gore, talk about trauma, and other such things. So if there is something that comes up to align for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. Also, again, for this week, we are down a player due to prior engagements moving. So don't worry, Percy will be back soon, but we are currently following an adventure with these three. So last session, you guys did a little bit of a shopping spree. You went to the Copper Cauldron and bought some nice items. You then decided to go to the Staff of Night to see if there was any way to get the phylactery identified as to how to destroy it. You managed to do so with the help of a professor, which you did not know before, named Odessa Dimwitch, who managed to identify it with a very complicated spell and deduced that it could only be destroyed by having an archbishop who is still faithful to the saints use it in a mass. You then thanked them, put the phylactery back in the bag, and left. You also obtained information about a way in which you could possibly allow Lark to return to the Feywild by visiting a druid named Ludla in the Mermaid Queen Spa, of which you are currently outside of. So, as I had described before, you are standing outside of this building that is very obviously some kind of bathhouse or spa. There is the mermaid fountain that is currently in a niche. Good Lord, your face. I was trying not to say anything, but it was just like frozen. There is a beautiful mermaid fountain in a niche in the front of the building, as well as very Indran architecture and tiles around the walkways and where there might be grass or gardens. And after briefly discussing the statue and its accuracy, what would you all like to do?
I was like waiting for Rerek.
Oh, I would like to take a bath.
Yeah, of course you would.
And
all right, well,
y'all look for whoever it is you need to talk to. I'm taking a freaking bath.
You're just gonna, I mean, okay. And cool. So I guess we'll head inside. Can I, is there like somebody greeting us? Like, can I bring Jasmine in? Is that gonna be an issue?
As you walk in, there is a woman at the front desk. She looks like kind of an older woman. She's an elf with darker skin and brown hair that she has tied up into a bun. And she's wearing something that kind of looks somewhat professional, like a professional robe, but also it has a leisure sort of aspect to it. It's almost dress casual kind of robe. And she rounds the counter. Welcome to the Mermaid Spa. I am the owner of the Mermaid Spa, Claudia Fennel. I'm assuming you would like to partake of our services today?
Yes. Also, my friend needs to talk to one of your employees.
Yes. Could we? What would it cost us? Or we really just need to have some time with Ludla.
Well, we do have several packages. Luckily, there are very few people in the bathhouse today. It's not very busy. And it seems Ludla's schedule is wide open. we do have several packages. The one that would include having an hour-long session with Ludla and free reign of our various baths and saunas and services would cost you about 2 gold apiece. We do keep our standards to the highest quality. However, it seems you will probably be the only ones there with Ludla at that point, as she doesn't currently have any bookings. But yes, you definitely can speak to her. She has a variety of things that she offers outside of meditation.
Lark just mage hand 6 gold over to her. And
Oh.
just be like, I'll pay for the room.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I will get you some towels, and you have free reign for the next hour and a half each of our services. And as she starts getting the towels out, that there are various saunas around that you can use. They're all private with doors. There's a hot pool, and on the other side of this room there are massages that you can get. And the middle door at the very back is where Ludla holds her sessions. And so here are your towels. And she hands you all towels, and she hands Lark like a hand towel instead of like a regular human-sized towel. Hopefully that isn't too big. I noticed you were a bit on the smaller side. Well, hopefully you all have a wonderful time. And she motions for you to go and enjoy the services that are there.
Okay, so where to? This is like what do we see?
I'm going to the hot pool.
Yeah, that is
Why?
basically like at the front of the room. So you have the hot pool at the front of the room, and then there's kind of a divider strip of tiles. There are also a lot of columns around the outside of the room, almost like a colonnade. The other half of the room, which looks like it would fit a pool of the exact same size, there are what appear to be warmed stone slabs, of which there are 2 or 3 attendants kind of waiting beside, with what looks like various jars and bottles of oils and perfumes and things like that, as well as plenty of towels that they seem to be steaming. You assume that that's where massages would take place. And of course, there are about 5 doors on either side that appear to be little steam rooms that you can go into. And there are 3 doors at the back. And she did indicate, Claudia indicated the middle door was where Ludla is.
Okay, so Arthur's probably pretty weirded out. Like, he's literally never been naked in front of another person, much less had like a stranger touch him in exchange for money. So he probably just wants to like go straight for Ludla, and he's like, okay, where do we go?
Like, if Rerek's like gonna hop in the bath, Lark's just gonna be like, at least leave your bags with us, especially that one. And I'm just gonna mage hand to grab like the haversack of holding or whatever it is, the handy haversack. I'm just gonna put it on Jasmine.
Oh, there's no like, isn't there like lockers?
Oh, there would be like a cloak closet that you could put things in, and as well as a changing room if you felt comfortable changing into just the towel. That would have been indicated. That was my bad for not describing that section. But yeah, if you choose to change out of your clothes, there's a place where you can do that privately, as well as places to place your belongings. There seems to be about 2 people in the pool and 1 person getting a massage. You're unsure of if there are very many people in the private steam rooms. And Claudia confirms that Ludla does not have any bookings at the moment, so she would be completely free. But otherwise, that's all the people that are in here.
Great. Pool it is for me.
I'll go to.
Okay. Yeah, same. I guess we'll see you when you're done.
Have fun. Get clean.
Yeah, what he said.
All right.
He's just happy it's a pig and shit.
I'm just really happy.
So you make your way to the back of the room and to the central door, which you open, and it looks as though this is a repurposed larger steam room, or it would have been, except it has been completely refurbished and repurposed, where there are copper pipes coming out of the walls, going into different sections of the building, presumably carting water. There is kind of 2 layers of wooden benches that are in there, but the sort of platforms have been filled with plant pots that have plants that are growing up the walls. And they're very similar to the plants that you saw at the lake house with the bullywugs that they were using to light their tavern. It has bioluminescent fruits hanging from some of them. The center of the room does have a beautiful oriental carpet that has been rolled out, and there are various little sensors and other sort of devices for burning incense. There are pillows, and there is a female furbolg also wearing a beautiful robe, sitting at kind of the back end where there's all the little incense stuff. Additionally, there are some singing bowls around her that seem to be going entirely on their own. You see as they almost hover about an inch above the floor, and the striker is just rolling around the ring of the bowl, making these singing bowl sort of sounds as she's sitting in a almost lotus position, holding a very large, what looks like caterpillar, a very large chubby caterpillar that's about that big in her arms, and just kind of, swaying back and forth and humming to herself. And you notice there's one on one of the walls, there's one on the ceiling, and there's about 2 over on the right-hand side that are kind of slowly inching their way through the plant pots. And she looks up. Oh, hello. Welcome. Did you get a booking for a meditation session?
We paid for a bit of your time. That is true.
Oh, wonderful. I haven't had any bookings today. It's lovely to talk to people and help them through their spiritual issues.
Ugh.
As she's still like swaying to this Tibetan singing bowl music with this giant caterpillar in her arms.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, she is that girl. I mean, she's probably about like 45 in Furbolg years, but she's that girl. Oh my God, let's go to Coachella.
Ew.
Good thing I'm in the pool. I'm gonna have to deal with this shit. Okay.
We came here. You were referred to us by someone.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. What the hell was her name? Moira.
Moira. at the staff of night.
Ah, Moira LePage. She's
Yeah.
referred a lot of people. She's very
Mhm.
nice.
Yep.
Her
Lark,
aura is
you wanna?
lovely.
Okay, I need a drink. Yeah, so I need to I need to travel to the Feywild. And it would be in my best interest to not do so alone. However, I at present can't bring my friend with me.
Oh, I see. Yes, I can help with that. I'm very in tune with the spiritual realm.
Why wouldn't you be?
How can
Girl,
you?
shut up.
I am loving playing this character
I
because I hate this type of person too.
yeah.
So I know what they're like.
They're the type of person that'd be like, I'm an empath.
Okay.
Yeah,
And we're done.
yeah.
Yep.
You know what? I'm in the pool. Why am I even reacting?
Hi.
Well, you have a whole hour booked, so if you'd like to sit down, we can begin finding yourself.
Do I have to?
It's not as fun if you just sit on the side.
I prefer to,
Okay. You prefer what?
I prefer to float. I don't exactly sit.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to dirty your ass on these benches. Cushions?
Well, in Sylvan, he's going to be like, "Do you understand me?" To this
Ludla.
Of course I do, she says back in Sylvan.
Okay, and now we're doing fairy stuff.
I mean, well, in back in common, Lark's gonna be like, "I was just checking if a baseline check," and she
Do what you need to do.
But yes, what Arthur said, I appear to owe a debt to the earth, and when I said that, Moira, she mentioned your name. Also, have you noticed your, I don't know, your spiritual realm abilities? Have you noticed an increase in, I don't know, an undead presence lately on your end of things? The wizards over at the tower don't seem to care at all.
There have been disturbances in the vibrations. Yes.
Yep.
Maybe not as big as a while ago, but there have been some.
What happened a while ago?
About a month ago, I felt a lot of negative energy coming from a ways away, but it's been dwindling, which is a good thing.
Yeah, one would imagine. So how exactly is it you could help us with the, earth debt?
Well, I can't fix it, but I can find how to pay it. You just have to open yourself up to the spiritual realm.
Okay. I mean, can he just do it, or like it's not my debt?
It's
So.
always helpful to have more people.
Oh, great. Okay. So what do I do? Just like sit?
Yes, you can just sit and open your heart. And then she sets down the caterpillar and kind of pats it and goes, "Go along, Billy, find something to eat." And it starts inching towards the plants.
I'll use Druidcraft to help some of them grow a little closer to it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite cantrip.
Of course it is. So I guess Arthur's probably just like sitting like really uncomfortably, like shifting back and forth, can't quite get still. Like, okay, now what?
Well, we are going to meditate and open ourselves up. It's really a simple process.
Yep.
And then she pulls some of the, she pulls out a box. We are going to be needing this though. And she
Is it
opens up
liquor?
the box
I hope
and
it's
she
liquor.
pulls out, no, it's not liquor, sadly. She pulls out a pipe.
Okay.
She pulls
And
out
now
like
I'm
a
slightly
hookah
more
out
curious.
of the box. She pulls out a hookah and she starts setting it up. Sometimes when we really need to connect, we use some of what the Great Mother has given us through nature.
Well,
And she starts putting like what kind of looks like potpourri into this thing.
well, thank the Great Mother.
Ooh, wait, is the Great Mother one of the saints, or is this somebody else?
She's one of the goddesses,
Oh,
like old gods. Like this is old faith stuff.
I already like it more than half of what the mortals are up to on this plane.
Oh dang! I
mean-
was like, I wish I was there. I didn't ask. Like, it was like. I
Well,
would
she
have
certainly
asked if
wasn't
it's-
going to be all crystals and good vibes.
No, I would have been
Um,
like, is it the same type of mother that those little icky
Oh,
guys?
different
talking
mother.
about?
Different mom.
Very
mother.
different mother.
Very
mom.
different mother.
Different
The other one
mom.
was a demon lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Never
one is a
mind.
deity. So,
Right.
yeah.
Never mind that. I am not
Well,
there.
first, we're going to center ourselves. And then we'll use this. And she finally has it all set up. And she kind of waves her hands at the sing bowls, and they all but one of them stops. And it's the one that continues is a low tone. And she sits. You want to sit like this, make sure your legs are crossed. And then you're going to put your palms face up on your knees. And we're going to take some deep breaths. And as we do, we are going to imagine our inner selves opening like a flower and roots pushing down into the earth and connecting and drawing nutrients. And then she walks you through a little bit of this whole like guided meditation thing. We're just gonna skip that.
So what dead body am I feeding off of underneath me though?
Okay, not helpful.
Oh, all kinds.
Yep.
The earth is made of those that have come before. Every little sparrow to every giant bear, they're all down there, willing to give their energy.
Wonderful.
And finally, she and now we'll use this. Now that we're open to the spiritual world, we're going to use the special herbs to connect and to ask for guidance from the Great Mother. And she pulls out the sort of pipe and like pushes the hookah towards you, Lark. You should go first.
Alrighty. I feel like unlike Arthur, Lark's been less snarky than he usually is, because like nature worship is way less like it's way closer to what he's probably used to where he's from.
Yeah.
But like, because literally the Archfey are physical entities that exist in the Feywild, so that makes more sense to him than
Yeah.
going through some intermediary to some long dead saint that
Yeah.
apparently you can have fallen saints that you get excommunicated from. So much hassle for whatever the Gothians worship.
Yeah. And even the gods seem so separate from the earth. They've created it and then they left. The Archfey are different. They're made of the same magic that makes the land. They're made from the same stuff. And they are the reason that their kingdoms of the Feywild are the way they are. They are their kingdoms. It just makes more sense.
So Lark's way less skeptical of what's going on than Arthur, if a little bit like, she's putting on some airs, but whatever. So he's gonna take a hit of that hookah.
Yeah. It's weird. There's definitely that sort of smoke taste, but there's also like lavender and nutmeg and cinnamon and rose and other sort of things like that in it. And of course, she passes to you, Arthur.
Bottoms up, I guess.
And you take a hit of the hookah, and she takes one herself. And she's, remember, keep the flower open, keep the roots deep. And you all do start feeling a little woozy at first. The colors become a little more bright. You can feel your teeth kind of buzzing a little bit. Everything begins, you almost feel the fog roll in over your brain of this substance, as well as you begin to hear things, and soon you begin to see things, which is strange. You're clearly aware that you are now high and hallucinating.
Yeah. Woohoo!
So, Arthur, you see a lot of pretty flowers and butterflies and birds and pretty forest things. You hear a lot of sort of singing and waterfalls and that sort of stuff. It's not quite coherent. Lark, you don't quite see the same thing. You see a lot of dark clouds and mist and ominous whispers. You see water, and through the clouds, you see spires reaching up into the dark sky. And you see statues of people crying amongst cathedral walls that seem familiar but entirely and wholly unfamiliar. And finally, you see a bush in a courtyard near a statue of a weeping woman. Part of the bush, the branches have grown out into an intricate cage, almost like a ball. And inside of it is what looks to be like a sprite or a pixie. And as you look closer, you notice it's a very bizarre experience because it's you, but not you the way you know you. It doesn't look like the way you've always looked. The wings are still butterfly wings, but they're not monarch wings. They're blue. you are wearing brightly colored clothing and you're giving off a yellowish light. And there almost seems to be faint fireworks going off around this sort of pixie that sat huddling and crying inside of this cage. And then you move along. You see more statues, more archways, more cathedral architecture and stained glass windows. You see more and more and more fountains and people wandering aimlessly with nothing behind their eyes. And then the water and dark clouds and fog. And you don't quite snap out of this vision, and neither do you, Arthur. It just kind of fades and melds back into reality, where you're sitting or floating in the room with Ludla, your teeth still a bit on edge, your head a bit achy and a bit dizzy, and slowly coming to. And you see Ludla kind of, swaying and smiling to herself as she kind of, her eyes slowly open and bat a little bit. Well, hopefully we all had a nice, lovely time, and we were able to connect with ourselves on a spiritual level.
Yeah, I feel super connected.
Did you two see what I saw?
Unless what you saw was a random mishmash of waterfalls, flowers, and pretty meadows, then no.
What did you see, Ludla?
Oh, I saw caterpillars and butterflies and wonderful flowers.
I need to Google how many effects of minor illusion I can have up at once. I saw this, and I'm going to use minor illusion to recreate the caged sprite version of Lark, like in miniature.
Mhm.
How many effects can I have?
I think you can have 2 of the 1-minute effects.
Okay.
At a time. I think it's something like that.
I mean, I can also just keep recasting it to change it to explain things. So I'll just say that Lark does that.
I'm looking it up real quick.
I saw
Oh, yeah, it's just a 5-foot cube of illusion. You can't make smell or sound or physical sensations or sensory effects, but you can just literally just TV screen, photo, animate it, make it move a little bit.
Lark's gonna create just a cute little animated 5-foot cube walking them through his vision by recasting a minor illusion. This is what I saw.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that answers that question.
What is this?
How?
Well, you wanted to know why you couldn't travel to the Feywild. The earth has claimed your soul for some reason, and that is the part of the soul that it's kept.
Mm-hmm.
What is this place?
Oh, that would be the Cathedral of Tears. It's in the Shadowfell in the City of Tears, where all the dead in Gothia must pass through before passing into the embrace of the Raven Queen and moving into the afterlife.
But I'm not dead.
No, you're not. But the earth demands its dues, and if you have died and been brought back to life, sometimes the earth does not like that and keeps a portion of your soul behind.
Okay, but so how do we get it back?
Well, you travel to the Cathedral of Tears and simply be with it, and it will merge back with you.
Wonderful. Okay, so all we have to do is take a quick jaunt into the Shadowfell. No big deal.
How much does Lark know about the Shadowfell? If anything?
I guess make me a nature check.
Nature check. Because I know it's like supposed to be the opposite side of the Feywild.
Yeah, the opposite side of the coin.
That is a 19, but I don't get any modifiers because I don't have any intelligence.
Well, with a 19, you know the universe is set up in a way in which there is a sort of positive plane that is the source of all life. And then there's the negative plane, which is the antithesis of that. The material plane is kind of the place where it collides and creates mortals. The heavens and the Feywild and the planes of air and fire are the closest to the positive plane. And its energy washes out of the Feywild, which is why it's so verdant and magical and has immortal beings. And same thing with the heavens. It's why the gods and angels and things like that are so long-lived and immortal, is because they are getting energy directly from the positive plane. The flip side, the hells, the Shadowfell, the planes of earth and water are closer to the negative plane, which is the opposite of that. You would know that the Shadowfell, because of that, it has immense amounts of negative energy that are washing over it at all times. It is like the shore in which the negative energy laps up against the beach that is the material plane. There are a lot of undead there. There are entire settlements and cities of undead. There are living things that live there as well. There are elves that have taken up refuge there. There are probably other populations of other things that live there. But it is a domain of despair and the end of life. It is also where, of course, the Raven Queen exists, who is both the guardian and the gate that all mortal souls must pass through in some way in order to go into the afterlife. So what she's saying is that that part of your soul is trapped in the place where the gateway to the afterlife is.
Awesome.
How do we get there even?
Beats me.
Would I even be able to go there if I'm trapped on the material plane?
Well, all things can go to the Shadowfell. It is where all things must go when they die.
So do we have to die to get there?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, that's a relief.
There are many portals, although I'm not aware of any at the moment. There are ways to get there. I'm sure there are wizards who can take you there. There's always the boatman. If you can find a way to summon him, he will take you there. Some undead have whole kingdoms in the Shadowfell, and if you manage to find one, might be able to bring you back. I've heard there were rumors that the people that lived in that abandoned house outside of town had a functioning relationship with a vampire family in the Shadowfell. But those are just rumors, and that was 400 years ago. But either way.
Okay.
There is a vampire who still lives at the edge of town.
Oh, you mean Svetlana?
Mhm.
She's not a vampire.
What is Svetlana then, darling?
Oh, she's a Dhampir. Only half.
Ah,
She'll become one when she dies. But she hasn't yet.
good to know. Well, thank you for that lovely revelation.
Of course.
Thank you for your services,
And
Lola.
she picks up a little hourglass that you didn't really notice before, but it was amongst all of the things. Oh, well, if you would like to stay for a closing meditation, you still have 15 minutes left of your session.
I think I'd rather take a bath. It's kind of been almost a week, so.
I understand.
So, how long did that trip actually go?
45
Apparently
minutes.
45 minutes.
And so I come in and I'm like, what the hell, man? I've been in the pool for 45 minutes.
What, are you worried your scales are going to go soft?
What happens to the lizards when they're too wet?
I
Do
mean,
any of you know?
probably not much. You've got like draconic heritage. I don't think much can really pierce.
Yeah.
I don't think scaled creatures prune necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't.
Like, what the heck happens?
You're just
But still,
wet.
Still, I complain. I complain because I'm me.
Well,
So-
okay. Your complaints are noted, but this guy is going to scrub his tits. So thank you again, Ludla. But you know, tits. So
Well, come back anytime. I'm willing to help you.
oh, we sure. Yep. I'm gonna go take a bath.
Goodbye. And you leave and go and
Can I pause as other people are like leaving and kind of turn back to Ludla and be like, you know where I'm from, right?
of course.
How would you feel about visiting sometime?
It depends on how and why.
Lark's gonna pull a seed out of his pocket and hold it out to her.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't accept that.
I somehow knew you were going to be the first person who actually knew what this was for. I just figured I'd
Yes.
offer in case you wanted.
Well, I don't think we run in the same circles.
You have my thanks nonetheless.
Of course. Goodbye.
Farewell.
So Arthur's probably like mid scooting into the bath as like Lark flies out. He's just like unceremoniously dumped his clothes beside the bath, by the way, like he had no patience. And he's gonna go like, you tried to give her a seed, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I try to give everyone seeds practically, don't I?
Yeah, you do. You getting in the bath or what?
Fine, if you want to see me naked.
That's not what oh dear God. Okay. No, what I meant is none of us have bathed in almost a week. So you stink.
You guys are weird. I'm getting a massage next.
Okay.
I feel like Lark lifts his arm and does like a sniff underneath and he goes, it's just a little fairy musk.
Fairy musk. That's what we're gonna call it. Okay.
It's an aphrodisiac for some people.
Yeah, not for this guy. Is there anything I can use, like some soap or something I can like wash Jasmine like from the side of the tub?
Oh yeah,
from the
there's
pool, the side of the pool?
plenty of different soaps and oils and other things that you can use to kind of, you know, get her and get you clean.
Yeah.
And we'll just say that because you have, I think, like 45 minutes left of
Somewhere about, because we paid for an hour and a half.
of stuff to do, we'll just kind of speed through that and,
Sure.
just say it comes to a close.
We had a nice
And
soak.
yes, you had a nice soak. You might have gotten a massage. You might have sat for a couple of minutes in a steam room. You were probably served tea that was, or coffee or other sort of typical Indran drinks. In the meanwhile, that is, of course, part of your package that you paid for. And you are then gently, at some point, warned that you have about 5 minutes left and are kind of gently guided back to the changing rooms. And that is the end of your stay at the bathhouse. So is there anything that you all would like to do before we close out the episode, as I'm assuming you are heading generally towards the house where Percy and his parents are currently residing?
That sounds wisest, because I think, we should probably see if he still wants to do anything with this head that has just been rotting for a whole day. And and we need him to go see the Archbishop anyway. We haven't gotten the information on how we're going to get to the Shadowfell if we ever get around to doing that. So,
well, we found out about the family that has ties to vampires, and worst case scenario, Svetlana can hopefully point us. Say vampires, there's a dump here.
We may discover something in the house too, because I'm assuming that's the house to which she was referring.
Yeah, I was about to say, you only know of one abandoned house outside of the town, so
yeah.
Oh, it's the house. Great.
Right. And when
Yes,
she said
it is.
400 years ago,
Yeah.
it's the house. I think Arthur's
Above
probably
game,
good.
I didn't put that together until you said that for some reason, and then
oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
fucking course it is.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
But yeah. I feel like maybe on the walk back, Lark's just like, I was afraid that it actually had happened, but I didn't think it did.
What was that?
Ugh, how mortal of me. Disgusting.
Well, I don't know, maybe be more careful.
I was perfectly careful back home. Do you know how many daggers and fangs I avoided not to get killed?
Well,
coming through a portal to the material plane and catching some gross illness. Disgusting.
Apparently it only takes one. So you'll be fine.
Percy
We'll get
come with us to that spa.
I'm sure his parents' bathing facilities are more than adequate. Although I will say that hot pool was quite nice.
Yes.
Yep. Arthur's good.
Yep.
Oh shit.
And Lark's just reflecting on his own unfortunate mortality.
Scary, isn't it?
Oh, he's so careful.
So what did I actually miss?
Oh yeah, we should probably tell Rerek what you saw in there.
So Lark will use minor illusion to be like, apparently, he's summing it up real quick to Rerek. Apparently I died at one point and Percy brought me back to life, and now the earth and the Shadowfell have claimed a tiny sliver of my soul. Which he's gonna zoom in on the crying mini Lark sprite trapped in a bramble cage and be like, look at that sad little boy. We need to rescue him. I can't remember the last time I cried, though, honestly. It might have been over crying, if that.
Well, apparently part of you still does.
Ludla mentioned something about wizards and stuff like that. Would I know anything about whatever's going on with him?
From what you probably caught, she's referring to the plane shift spell, which would be the same way you could get to the Feywild.
Oh, okay.
So you
Yep.
can get a wizard who can cast plane shift to plane shift you into the Shadowfell. Just the same as they can plane shift you into the Feywild or the Nine Hells or Mount Celestia or the plane of water or other planes in existence. The only plane that they would most likely not be able to get to is the Far Realms.
Cool.
Makes
What do you
sense.
think?
Oh, yeah,
What do you two think happened a month ago that caused so much negative energy to fill this place?
I haven't the slightest. All I know is that, well, you've seen much of what I've seen.
At first, I wondered if it was my arrival, but if it was, she would have mentioned something like that. She knew where I was from.
No, I doubt you're the cause of any of this, although I do admit you enjoy your mischief, but this is a bit much. It's not even cute.
I
Was
mean,
a month ago when we started all of this. Just
I-
checking.
I
Sorry.
think in game
Yeah.
it's been about a month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a month ago is when I started seeing this vision as well.
Maybe a little bit more than a month because you traveled
I did travel.
Right.
Yeah.
to
Okay.
Gothia to follow it.
Never
Mhm.
mind.
When Arthur says something about it being cute, Lark's gonna be like, I mean, the plants puppeting the corpses was kind of cute.
Yeah, that was tasteful, I
Imagine
suppose.
if we could just get seeds of those plants and plant them in all the undead across Scotia.
I'd really rather not.
I mean, they'd be more controllable.
I would rather them not be here at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they will always be easy to burn. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Just burn things.
Yeah.
That's good. Should we go check on Percy?
Sure.
Okay.
I will say it is rather late now in the evening, probably about 5:30 with all of your hopping around and traveling and shopping. It's probably about 5:30 when you actually start making your way back to Percy's parents' house. And when you get in, you do see Percy's mother sitting in the living room, kind of leafing through some files that she probably brought home from work, as well as Percy's father in the kitchen cooking, and Belladonna as well. And she seems to be helping out. You also notice that there are things that are floating and moving on their own as Belladonna occasionally makes a hand gesture. As they seem to be preparing a soup with lots of vegetables in it. Oh, well, welcome back. How was your day?
Lovely.
Relaxing.
Yeah. Visited the spa actually for once.
Oh, was that the Mermaid Queen?
That's the one. Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah, I haven't been. I've been too busy working, and now that I'm not working, it's weird.
Have you heard anything about Madame Drindhall, darling? We passed by and
Oh,
still closed.
yeah, she and quite a few other people were all arrested. They were all charged with either trafficking or conspiracy to traffic. Those were in the files that you found in the hospital. They've made quite a few arrests in the past few days. Madame Drintal being one of them. So I'm not sure if the fairy godmother is going to open back up again. I'm not even sure if I still have a job. but I mean, I'm not sure how much I can hold on to a job with, and she kind of motions to the empty air,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are the cats moving things for you now, or is this just spontaneous? You can move stuff now.
Oh, it's just spontaneous. I can move stuff now.
Well,
Oh,
that's
They
helpful.
tried to teach me Mage Hand, but that kind of didn't quite go as planned. But I was still able to move things. Apparently, I'm at least somewhat telekinetic.
Fascinating.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, well, dinner is almost ready if you guys would like to sit down. Percy's still sleeping off his injuries. Of course, he looked pretty
Of course.
badly beaten. So I'll probably take Soup up to his room later. And she just kind of motions to the dining room table. And
Sure.
you all sit down and you do have a lovely, weirdly family dinner. And that is where we're going to end the episode, with you all sitting in the candlelight of the Kritzwald dining room, eating a delicious home-cooked meal with your weird, somewhat kind of sort of found family, in a way.
Mhm.
And we will see you all next week. Percy should be back, so hopefully you'll be seeing Colton again. But make sure to tune in and join us in a week to see just how they're going to get Lark's soul back. Goodbye.
Yeah.